We are the Ultramarines, 13th Legionis Astartes, Regents of Ultramar, Protectors of the 500 Worlds, Lords of Macragge, Champions of the Imperium, the Sons of Guilliman. Yet these are mere titles. We wage war with courage and honor, for the glory of the Emperor. That is what defines us. I am Chief Librarian Varro Tigurius, and by my will shall we be victorious this day.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So that was a pretty awesome trailer. I really hope that all the other chapters get something like that, get given that much love for like the animations and stuff, because it does give people a little bit of background into the chapters. I'm sure we all know who the Ultramarines are anyway, because they're shoved down our throats constantly, even though there are better chapters out there. Prove me wrong, I dare you. Just kidding. Right, so in this article, it basically goes over all the stuff which we've more or less come to conclusion to anyway, like tactics, psycho stuff. If anything, it really gives us a general vibe of what these new codexes are going to have in them when it goes to your chapter and stuff like that. So let's jump in and let's look at some of the previews for the Ultramarine Codex, because it looks very good. So the first big preview we had is something called Scions of Guilliman. Now this is all about combat doctrines. So it says, if you read yesterday's article on the new rules and units featured in Codex Space Marines, you'll know how combat doctrines work. Well, such is a tactical mastery of the Ultramarines, fight me, Imperial Fist about that they receive an additional benefit when tactical doctrines is active, a handy advantage when moving squads or vehicles armed with heavy weapons, and it also works well in conjunction with bolter discipline. So as you've seen on the screen now, this is the Scions of Guilliman. It says, the Ultramarines and their successors are strict adherents to the teachings of the Codex Astartes, and such they typically adopt flexible combat styles that emphasize maneuverability without sacrificing firepower. So the actual rule for this is, whilst the tactical doctrine is active, models with this ability that moved in your movement phase but did not advance or fall back can make attacks with ranged weapons in the following shooting phase as if their unit had remained stationary this turn. So again, that is pretty good. It's adding more layers to the combat doctrine, something that you'd really expect with the Sons of Guilliman. I'm not sure if that's going to be very powerful. I mean, do you know what? It all depends really who you're going against and what kind of foe. But yeah, it's like, I think against Horde armies, this is going to be very good, like Orcs and maybe Tyranids and stuff like that. But for the harder armies, I don't know, like Custodes and obviously Knights and stuff, those top tier armies, I can't see that working. No, do you know what? I can. Yeah. I think this is a pretty decent little thing for the Ultramarines. I think, yeah. Actually, I do rate it. So there's been a lot of debate about what's actually going to be in these Codex supplements, like how many rules we're going to get, Warlord traits we're going to get, and it actually confirms it here. It says Ultramarine includes a set of 6 Warlord traits. Now, I think that will apply to all the other Codex supplements as well, like the White Scars will get 6 Warlord traits, the Imperial Fist, fingers crossed when they get one, the Iron Hands, the Salamanders, the Raven Guard, all these guys are going to get the same amount of Warlord traits, because if one had like 1 and another one had 6 and then one had 10, it's got to be kind of imbalanced, and I'm sure it'll start causing splits within the community saying, hey, what is how you get what and stuff like that. So I definitely see that they're just going to make it a plain sailing and just give everyone the same amount of options, but obviously worded different and to do different things on the battlefield. It also mentions psychic abilities as well. It says Ultramarine librarians will have access to a bespoke psychic discipline that represents their indomitable mental fortitude, the aptly named Indominus discipline. In fact, they're so formidable in this area that they can slay their enemies with sheer willpower alone. After all, mind bullets are so last millennium. So again, that confirms we're going to have psychic stuff, dedicated to psychers. Again, I'm sure this is going to be different across everyone else's codex. I'm sure each psychic in each chapter will provide different stats. Like, for example, I'd probably say, like, maybe the Imperial Fist ones, like, I don't know, give more toughness to certain areas, or, I don't know, I'm just going off the top of my head at the moment, but I'm trying to think of it, like, depending on what chapter they can do, and, you know, a part of, like, their doctrines and how they come to do combat and stuff. I think that's going to be more or less aimed in that kind of areas. So this is the one called Telepathic Assault, and it says a telepathic assault has a warp charge value of 7. If manifested, select one enemy unit within 24 inches of and visible to the psyker, roll 2d6 and add 2 to the result. That unit suffers 1 mortal wound for each point by which the total exceeds the highest leadership characteristics of the model in that unit. So again, that's pretty decent. You can actually, you know, stack up a few mortal wounds on your enemy there. So yeah, that is a very, very nice Ultramarine psychic ability. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what all the others get and how they differ from each other. So we've seen the Scions of Guilliman, we've seen a telepathic assault, and now it's time for a relic. So again, it confirms chapter relics for each of your chapter. These are already a part of the Space Marine Codex now, but I'm sure these are going to be expanded on. Like this one, for example, the Santic Halo. This is completely new. So again, I'm just going to say it off the top of my head, 99.9% convinced that other chapters will get new, you know, epic war gear for you to take into battle that will differ from other chapters. So this one is a Santic Halo. It says captain model or chapter master model only. A model from your army with this relic has a 3+ invulnerable save and can attempt to deny 1 psychic power in your opponent's psychic phase in the same manner as a psyker. So that's pretty cool, you know, if you don't bring any psykers in, and, you know, maybe a guy has a psyker but you can't really afford to bring a psyker, or you think, you know, bringing a captain/chapter master is better for your list, you can still try and deny that psyker stuff, because you can equip him with this Santic Halo, and of course the big bonus to it is a 3+ invulnerable save. Invulnerable saves are always going to be welcome, definitely so much in 8th edition, where there's just so much damage output from all the armies at the moment who are like shooting Dakar across the table. And moving on, we have special war gear as well. So again, more confirmation that each codex will have special war gear for your chapter. This one they've previewed off is called the Sun Wrath Pistol, and it is a plasma pistol. Ooh. So it says the model equipped with a plasma pistol. This relic replaces a plasma pistol and has the following profile. So Sun Wrath Pistol is range 12, pistol type 2, strength 8, AP -3, and damage is 2. That is a very, very brutal pistol. Don't forget, pistols can be more or less used in melee range as well during 8th edition. So if you have the models coming down on you, then this is probably going to be something that you want to be equipping, shooting in someone's face, and then if they haven't been killed from this awesome weapon, then you just smack him in the face with either a power fist, a power sword, lightning claw, whatever you have at your disposal to finish off that absolute heretic / Xenos. Now, of course, nothing will be complete without stratagems. I think this was the big thing for me, to see what kind of stratagems they would have and how many stratagems, and we now again have confirmation. So it says the Ultramarines have access to a bunch of stratagems that reflect their mastery of war, while the Codex supplement offers another 16 stratagems to choose from, unique to the Ultramarines. So again, this is getting me kind of giddy. Come on, I definitely want, like, the Ultramarines are cool. You know, I'll give it to them. You know, they are cool, but there's sometimes they just shove down my throat too much where it makes me want to scream. But I have no problems with the chapter, just how they're advertised. But all my excitement is down with the Imperial Fist and to see what they get, because you all know me by now. I'm a massive Dornian fanboy, and for these guys to start getting their own stuff, to start getting their own profiles, weapons, stratagems, this is what's going to send me just completely off the radar. So the stratagem, which has been in the background while I've been rambling on, is called Tactical Expertise. Now, I've read this and I think this is kind of badass. So this costs 2 command points, and it says use this stratagem at the start of your movement phase. If you use a tactical doctrine is active until the start of the next battle round when resolving an attack made with rapid fire or assault weapons by an Ultramarines model from your army, and a modified wound roll of 6. The armor penetration characteristics of that weapon is improved by 1 additional attack. You can only use this stratagem once per battle. Now, right off the top of my head, I was thinking about the stuff I was saying yesterday about the Imperial Fist, where if you take veteran intercessors and you're getting the, what was it 40 shots at range 30, AP -2. If you can roll this and start getting the 6s on that, then you're getting AP -3. on your bolt shots. So it is very, very spicy if you can do the CP, but it's that's a very costly CP tactic, because I think altogether to get the veterans up to that standpoint, I think it's actually 4 CP within itself. I'll post some more stuff about that if anyone's actually interested, but I'm just thinking off the top of my head at the moment, that injunction with that could be very, very deadly. There's even more in the codex. He actually states here that, he says, believe it or not, there's loads more, including the codex supplement that we haven't yet covered. Of course, they're not going to spoil us all now, are they? Including Ultramarine specific tactical objectives, the awesome background section complete with detailed chapter organization, even the Ultramarine name generator. You see, one of the big things about these codex supplements, especially for me, who's more of a narrative player more than anything, is the lore. I'm wondering if we're going to have like new characters popping up, maybe new interactions between characters and chapters, maybe new battles that have been fought against old foes like the Iron Warriors, versus Imperial Fist. This is the kind of stuff that I like to read and build on, and do dedicated forces onto and stuff like that. So that's what I'm really, really, really looking forward to. It also goes on to state there are also a number of bespoke Ultramarine datasheets, from the noble Captain Sicarius of the Second Company to Powered Axe wielding Honor Guard, and even the glorious Primarch and Lord Commander of the Imperium, Scions of Guilliman. It actually goes into more detail. There's so much in these articles. You know what? GW have been knocking out the park with these Warhammer community articles in the past couple of days. They've been going into so much detail. Like, I'm going through it and I'm just like blown away that they're actually previewing so much off. So it states here, it says long-term Ultramarine fans will also welcome the return of tyrannic war veterans, bloody hell, I can't even spit it out, as a dedicated unit. So there we go. We all know that the Nids fought the Ultramarines a lot, even though I think the Blood Angels went through more. But hey, again, please convince me. I'll fight you about it. They'll make a wonderful thematic addition to any army. That includes Chaplain Cassius. After all, he formed their order. Yes, he did, actually. They certainly live up to their name, so check out the Bane of the Tyranids ability, and we actually have it. They've previewed it off. They've previewed so much stuff off, like I said. So Bane of Tyranids, when resolving an attack made by a model in this unit against a Tyranid unit, you can re-roll the hit roll and you can re-roll the wound roll. So that is pretty impish, So if you are going against a friend and you know he's bringing Tyranids and you're an Ultramarine player, then you probably want to be bringing some of these guys, because it's going to be benefiting your armor, and you got to get those juicy re-rolls, which are always welcome on the tabletop. And finally, a part of this article, we actually get a look at Tigurius, the lead librarian of the Ultramarines. So firstly, let's start off with his stats, which they previewed off. So his movement is 6, weapon skill is 3, ballistic skill is 3, strength is 4, toughness 4, wounds are 5, attacks are 4, leadership 9, and his save +3. Nothing really mind-blowingly super awesome, I'd say. I think it's a great model, but nothing that makes you think, oh my god, I need to include this guy in my army at all times. Unlike when they actually release the Imperial Fist characters, I'm sure that those guys are going to blow all the Ultramarine characters out the water. This is not a biased video, I swear down on the Emperor's throne. Right, so we also get some of his abilities mentioned in this article as well. So the first one is called Hood of Hellfire. So it says, when a psychic test is taken for this model, you can re-roll the result. When a psychic test or deny the witch test is taken for this model, add 1 to the total. Okay, so that could probably get you out some pretty sticky situations if it comes to it. And the last one is Master of Presence. At the start of the battle round, you can select one friendly Ultramarine unit within 6 inches of this model. Until the end of that battle round, when resolving an attack against that unit, subtract 1 from the hit rolls. Okay, that is pretty nice as well. So, -1 to hit if you're like, 6 inches with a model. So if you've got like a nice model that you don't want to be getting shrugged off, then you probably want to be putting Tigurius next to him, and you're getting that nice little debuff on the guy. So yeah, that is pretty awesome. Right, so that is the end of the article, and it's left me very excited. Yes, not so much excited that I'm going to go out and buy the Ultramarine one, but it's left me excited to what I expect now when it comes to the Imperial Fist one. I cannot wait to see what all the cool stuff we get to purge in the name of the Emperor, and of course in the name of glorious Rogel Dawn. Super looking forward to the White Scar one as well, since White Scars are in my top 3 chapters. I wonder what all kind of stuff they're going to get. I'm sure that the White Scar one is going to be tomorrow, and if it is tomorrow, I'll just do another one of these videos like I've done today, going through it all, giving my thoughts and feedback and explaining it. Now, though these two codex supplements, keep calling codexes, well, the Space Marine Codex, the Ultramarine Marine Codex supplement and the White Scars Codex supplement are all going for pre-order on the 10th, so this Saturday. The Raven Guard, the Iron, I keep wanting to call them Iron Warriors for some reason. It's just, there's just a burning passion to purge these guys. So the Iron Hands, Raven Guard, Salamanders, Imperial Fists, etc. There's no announcement for these Codex supplements yet, but I'm sure they will be coming throughout the weeks. When and how, I have no idea, but the trend has already started now. It's probably going to be next week that we may see more of the Codex supplements being announced and more models for those Codex supplements with characters from those chapters as well. Right, this is me done for another video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I shall see you all very, very soon. Have a great day and bye-bye.